What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. So, another hype job's been exposed, people. Subriel Matias, the alleged murderer in boxing, gets his cherry popped. Tell a lie, he's lost before, but he got this. He wasn't on then. Yeah, many people, myself included, were considering this guy to be certainly. Yeah, Teofimo can box. Yeah, Devin Haney can box. Who else is there? Pitbull. Yeah, I guess Pitbull can punch a bit. But this was the dangerous guy, right? Him and Pitbull were the dangerous guys in terms of doing some. Hitting hard. Oops. Another hype job exposed, essentially, people. Liam Paro, he boxed well. For me, he's missing the X factor. Teofimo has the X factor. Devin does the jab grab well. Devin can jab grab you. That's his X factor. It's crap. It's rubbish to watch, but it's kind of his niche. He can't listen. Devin Haney can't do anything but jab and grab. Pitbull has his niche, pressure fighting, which in today's age is a commodity, a rare commodity. People, pressure fighting, elbows in, chin down, whapping forward, winging big power shots off. Liam Paro, he reminds me more, if anything. He's not as slick, but he reminds me, if anything, his fight style somewhat similar to Shakur Stevenson, with a little bit less class. But then again, he's got potentially more punching power, because the truth of the matter is, he was able, whatever way you look at it, he was able to break down Matias, in as much as there was points in that 10th, 11th round, 12th round that Matias was clinging on for dear life himself. He was clinching. Now, on that note of clinching, it does have to be said, I had it a lot closer than the judges. Liam Paro had a point taken off for the headbutt, so I had Liam Paro winning by a round. Why? Because of how I score fights. I don't do round by round. If you start clinching, yes, Matias was, I'd say the clinch ratio was 3-1. Yeah, Paro was clinching 3 times as much as Matias, and that was pissing me off. I understand why, because I don't understand why. It was just annoying. It needs to be banned. It ruined the flow. There was points where Matias was starting to get some rhythm, and then he'd be clinched. Again, strategically, people say, well, you're playing to the rules. It's just corny, man. Fight, or move your feet. Fight, move your feet, move your head, put your hands up. These are the options. Clinching, it's just not boxing, people. It's not enjoyable to watch. It's basically, the only person it's good for is the person doing it. It's good for no one else. It's a bit like, I don't know, clinching for me is like in football, if you're just passing the ball with the defence. It's even worse than that, in fact. Well, yeah, you're kind of starving other people's attack by just passing the ball. Especially when it comes across as a strategy. This wasn't the occasion. Liam Paro was constantly clinching anytime Matias got going. So I had Paro winning, but by 1 round, not by 3 or 4. Including the points taken off. It could have been a draw. Again, I'm extremely harsh against clinching. That's my takeaway from this fight was Liam Paro was clinching too much. That's the truth. His good work was undone by the fact he was doing so much of that. Then again, towards the end of the fight, Matias was clinching. So whatever we say about it, people, Matias was supposed to be the stronger one. He should have been the one. Matias never should have been clinching. He should have been constantly looking to work. And that's why ultimately, even with the point taken off, I have Paro winning. Paro won the fight, bottom line. Because Matias, he faded, man. He put some shots together. And we have to give Paro credit for that. He put some shots together. Paro took them, and he didn't let it define the fight. For example, Frank Martin versus Gervonta Davis. Tank let his hands go, and ever since that point, Frank Martin didn't want to know. He was out of there. Liam Paro, he did it well, where he'd box most of the time, but he wasn't afraid, or whether he was afraid or not, every round, or consistently rather, he had his own offense. That was not just offense for offense sake, but it was actually bothering Matias. It was making Matias think twice. It was making Matias initiate the clinch. When you see a pressure fighter start initiating clinches, that's not a good look, right? That's showing, oh, he's supposed to be punching something, right? Matias is the guy who's supposed to be punching something. When that guy starts clinching, he tired / he feeling something. So Paro definitely won. Matias in his home crowd as well. I mean, the good thing he's got on his side is that he's an exciting fighter. I ain't gonna lie, I'm questioning his power. All this is the problem with hype jars, people. I said to you, man, until I see someone, Tank included, until I see someone fight someone in their weight division who's primo, you can't rate these guys like that. You just can't. Yeah? Because who's Matias beat? Let's have a look. But everyone's saying, oh, he's killed 10 people in the ring. He's done this, he's done that. Next thing you know, he's in there with Liam Paro, who can't punch like that. I think Paro's got about 25 fights, 50% KO ratio, so he's not a puncher. Categorically, Liam Paro's not a puncher. And yet he's got the big, most dangerous man in the ring, who's out there trolling Regis Prograis and trolling Devin Haney. He's got him clinching and all bent out of shape and all tired looking. Yeah? Who is Matias beat? Never heard of this Ergashev guy. Ain't gonna lie, never heard of him. Never heard of any of these guys. Ponce, never heard of him. Petros, never heard of him. None of these cats have I heard of. Yeah, and he lost to this. You know what I mean? Like, the writing was on the wall here. He's lost on points before. So, Matias down as well. He's got no chin. Matias down in round 7. So he's chinny. And he's punching. I'm sceptical again. Liam Paro is clearly world class. I'd say Liam Paro is the first world class dude he's been there with. Oops. So from now on, the rule is, I ain't hyping no one. At least with Tank, you can say, well, he has sparkoed Ryan Garcia. Weight drained or not. I didn't tell her. I didn't even sparkle him then. But even Ryan quit. So even with Tank, I don't know. Tank's got more class to him though. Tank's got more class. If you're going to be a guy who wades forward and puts massive combinations together, that's what you do. Matias wasn't busy enough. Essentially, he got boxed up. He got punched up. So, where he goes from here, there's fights that are still intriguing. For example, I think even though before the fight it was talked about, but Prograis is at a crossroads, right? Prograis, he kind of washed up himself. Prograis just got punched up. People, Devin Haney can't punch. We know this. Devin Haney cannot punch even a little bit. And he was punching, he almost stopped Regis Prograis, right? So Regis is washed up. Regis has slow feet and he can tangle. So that would be an interesting fight. The battle of the washed up. The washed up champions. Regis and Matias. That fight still makes sense. That's what's relevant right now. Matias versus Pitbull, it's not going to happen. Again, I'd like to see it though. Just to see how washed up, how good, if at all, Matias is. Because it's one thing to say, well, Paro was clinching and whatnot. It's another thing to say, Pitbull spark in front of you. Let's see what the big hard man does when someone's spark in front of him ready to fight. I guess I'd back Pitbull. Because Pitbull's only had trouble with people who are pure, like that guy who was purely boxing him and tying him up. Didn't put his feet down once. Matias ain't going to do that. So let's see how bad Matias really is. Because I didn't see that. Whatever you say about Pitbull, yeah, even when he was getting boxed up by the Spanish guy, in my opinion, he lost that fight. But when he was getting boxed up, he was still trying to win. Matias, he was kind of like, ooh, again, clinching, etc., etc. Look at Liam Paro, people. I like fair play, man. There was massive. I think it was a 7-1 underdog. 7-1 underdog. You put a tenner on him, you get 70 quid profit back, people, to back Liam Paro. His power. He's points, split decision, points. There's a few KOs, complete bums though. 1-star bums, he stops. Montana Love, chinny bum. Montana Love has no chin, and he's no good. The other Australian cat showed that, so Montana Love no good. Brock Jarvis, never heard of him. So, he's not the most powerful, but Matias respected him. Should there be a rematch? I think Eddie's already said Liam Paro's got the big Australian coin, the Australian federal coin behind him. So I don't think Matias, he was only relevant because he was a killer and because he had a belt. Now he's like just washed up. He doesn't have the big American audience as such. I think he's Puerto Rican, so he has a bit of a following there, I guess. He's lacking that. This was his people. This was his home show, his big time to shine, and he choked. Yeah? That makes people sour, right? You had one job. Everyone's been saying, oh, this man's the most ducked man in the history of the game. Everyone's scared of him catching a body. Oops. That's what happened when you talk too much. Talk way too much. And then went in there and then you clinching because you're tired. Matias. The big killer. There's a saying. Cardio makes mice of all men. That's what is becoming evident here. When you're tired, you don't want to do nothing anymore. Unless you're truly goated. Unless you are a true Odinian warrior. Yeah? Because Matias said, oh, I know I have to win fights by KO, but I didn't see that. Yeah, you was half and half ago, but you could have just said, F it, man. I'm getting knocked out if I lose tonight. Matias didn't want to get knocked out, that's for sure. So, that's on him. Yeah? He got boxed up, ultimately. Got boxed up. And that's the bottom line. Forget about him now. He a hype job. Big hype job, Matias. He'll talk. Yeah? Oh, no one will fight me. Never mind, never mind, Matias, no one fighting you, yeah? Some random dude fought you and beat you up, so forget about that now. Yeah, oh, everyone, all the top guys duck at me. Teofimo Lopez would have. If Tio's on, he would box. This Liam Paro cat is nowhere near as dynamic and athletic and as quick as Teofimo. Matias, yeah, he's got kind of stiff legs and he gets stuck with his hands up and he can't kind of react. Tio would be hitting him, rolling off, hitting him, spinning off, and Matias would just be stuck there like this, for sure. Devin, he got no chin. And Devin can't punch, but Devin will be able to tie him up. Devin might pop him in the mouth and just tie him up, but Devin's chin is now compromised. Some of them shots that Liam Paro got caught with from Matias would have probably knocked Devin Haney's spark out. That's the truth on that situation. Caught him and he like just creased up on the floor. But yeah, Pitbull Cruz, if he can get that fight, which is unlikely because it's cross promotion, or Regis Prograis. That's what makes sense to me. That's what Matias has to go for now. Entertaining fights, not anything relevant. Because you've lost that now. You've lost top fights. You need to go in there and have cockfights now. Matias is a cockfighter who don't really want to fight, if that makes sense. You want to just... If he can beat you up because you're a bum, he'll beat you up. But when someone's there half boxing with him, he weren't that interested. And that's why he got boxed up for 10 rounds. 9 rounds or whatever it was. Anyway, here's what it is, people. Another one bites the dust. Yeah? Let me know your thoughts. This is why it's so important. You have to go by what you see. I know I'm obviously a hypocrite of that sometimes, looking at Tyson Fury. I admit that now. I don't know what I was looking at. It must be the hype, I guess. The hype must get into my own head. Never mind theirs. But you have to go at least by what have they done against people, top level competition. Matias was a complete question mark. Yeah. He like that Deontay Wilder-esque. Punching up nobodies. Oops. Now he washed up and sorry looking. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, let off the bell, 100%, no doubt about it. Stop it.